This is my LEGO Star Wars room, and today I want to show you what's currently inside of it and what I'm going to build in the future. So let's start off with this giant 4-meter long display on the left side of the room. This is custom built only for LEGO purposes by me and my neighbor. It took us a long time and a lot of frustration to build this thing, but the result is great. We have a big long wall for all of the LEGO Star Wars minifigures that were ever produced. Currently we have about 80% of them here on display. My most prized possessions at the moment are the Chrome C3PO. Only 10,000 of them exist in the world, and this is also a sealed one. I didn't unbox it yet, but I probably will have to do in the future if I want to have him on display with the other minifigures. Same goes for the New York Yoda. In 2013 there was a big event on the Times Square in New York, and that's where they gave out this promo minifigure. Also very rare, but honestly they are just very expensive. There are other way cooler minifigures on this wall. For example, the Cloud City Boba Fett with his arm prints. Man, I love this figure. The Chrome Stormtrooper or the Chrome Darth Vader, as well as Jabba the Hutt, who barely fits into this display. Very happy I was able to stick him in there. We will see how this goes with other very large figures in the future. For example, the Rancor, we won't be able to fit him here, unfortunately. I sorted the figures by the respective years they were released. Of course, starting with 1999 and leading all the way down to 2022. Almost have all of the 2022 figures, still completing them now. Of course, as I mentioned, we have a lot of holes in the middle here to fill in. Some of them are rare, some others I just missed out on the sets when they were released. But I will give you status updates about my minifigure collection in future updates, so you definitely should subscribe to this channel. There's a lot more of content you might enjoy in the future. I can see the comments already. No, the base plates I've used for this display are not officially from LEGO. They are from a third-party company, but I really like them. They have a good quality, and I will also show you how I fitted the minifigures to the wall. That's just a simple construction out of 3 parts: a tile, a brick modified, and a plate. You can also use more plates in the back if you have, for example, a minifigure with a large backpack or something else. You might also wonder what is going to happen with this empty space over here. Well, as the years go by, LEGO will hopefully continue to produce more LEGO Star Wars minifigures and we will fill them up. But until then, I'm open to new ideas. I could imagine putting some custom figures here, or maybe another license that LEGO put out. We will take care of that in the next updates. And since we want to open up an exhibition in the future, we have to protect the LEGO minifigures from getting stolen. This is achieved by this giant piece of glass, which is so heavy that we have to use these giant octopus things to move it around. Yes, my biceps grew a lot since we have this display. Thank you for noticing. On top of the shelf I store my LEGO Star Wars helmet collection. I have all of them, just the TIE Fighter pilot not yet built. I plan on buying light kits so that they are not in the dark. At the moment you can barely see them because I haven't figured out a good option to light them up. But I will figure that out in the future. The lower part of the display is of course not as easily accessible as the higher part, so I thought, why not build some MOCs and display some sets or minifigures inside of it. The level that's almost on the ground is used for a giant minifigure army. On the right side we have the clone army on Coruscant. You maybe remember the scene from episode 2. I built the balcony with Palpatine and some senators who look out after the clone army and the Venators starting off from Coruscant to fight the clone war. Yeah, of course, the troops I have here, they are not really accurate to the movie. I used ARF troopers and some Clone Wars troopers. The episode 2 troopers were just too expensive for me, so I kind of gave myself the freedom of picking my own kind of troops I liked. If I have the money in the future, I will of course swap them out. On the other side, kind of mirrored, we have another version of Palpatine, in this case the Imperator Palpatine, who gets out of his Imperial shuttle. You have the Royal Guards and Vader kneeling down, and then a giant army of stormtroopers. A lot of pilots and officers are missing here at this space. They are not so easy to come by, so I will have to buy them off Bricklink one day. I also built the hangar here, took a picture and cut it out for the background. I'm really happy how it turned out, just not so easy to stabilize since it stands on a few bricks. On top of that, I started the thinnest Lego Hoth layout ever, but one of the longest maybe. It's 4 meters long, and I wanted to display all of the official 8080 Lego Star Wars sets inside of it. I already have 4 of them. The one from 2010, I crashed it to make it look a little bit more unique in this display. I also split an AT-ST walker in half. That was a very fun video to do. Then there are the trenches, another module I already started with a snowspeeder and 2 walkways for the minifigures. And the medical chamber inside of the Echo Base is also already started. But there is a lot of work still to do in this MOC. Also a lot of work is the Tatooine MOC on the other side of the room. As you can see here, I started to build Mos Pelgo from the Boba Fett show, the Sarlacc pit, the Lars farm where Luke Skywalker lives, the Mos Eisley Cantina. In my case, it was kind of a joke to build it inside of the stomach of the Sarlacc pit. And of course the Rancor pit, which will the foundation of Jabba's palace. I can't quite figure out how to build this giant rounded part of the palace yet, since it's very hard to accomplish with Lego bricks. But once I have figured out that, it will of course be on this channel and also in the MOC. And as you might know, there are giant AT-80 walkers flying over Tatooine. That's what I was trying to achieve with this shelf. Underneath we have the palace of Boba Fett. This will be replaced by a MOC of an AT-TE walker in the future, and maybe some other shelves on this wall. There is still a lot of space I can fill up on this wall, maybe with another MOC or something else. And these curtains are just there to hide the windows behind it. They are not that nice. And also the cables for the LEDs. You might also wonder what these little pyramids on the ceiling are doing. These are sound mats. They are there to improve the audio quality in this room. And they also have a nice vibe, that's why I put them there. This right here is where I store most of my parts. All of them are tagged with these little glue pieces, and I can directly find them in these drawers. Oh, and this is also very nice. Yeah, I might have some spare minifigures. You might ask me now what is happening to the rest of the space in this room. Well, I have a lot more Lego to fill it up with. I just have to figure out how to build it, that it looks kind of nice, but you will see that in the future videos. Be sure to also check out the channel Brick Crafts. That's by my friend. He builds a giant Lego city with a lot of detail. He's literally sitting in the room next to me. He does a lot of crazy stuff, so you should definitely check him out. And until then, have a nice time and may the Force be with you.